Go.
Welcome to the Happy Humanoid Perspective, where your beliefs are challenged, thoughts provoked, and where you may find your happy place whether you like it or not.
And here are your hosts, Edith and Miles.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Woody woo! Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast show today. We're at podcast number 57. Woody hoo!
Yes.
My name is Miles, and I am an Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator. And I'm joined here by my lovely wife, Edith Paul.
Hello, everyone. Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator as well. And welcome to our show.
Yes.
Today, the topic. It's about something probably nobody does, but hey, we're going to talk about it anyway.
It is for fun.
Yeah, just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
It's about fighting with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And fighting with yourself may not be the workout you desire.
No.
Yeah.
Do some Zumba instead.
Yeah. So, yeah, that came up. We were asking questions. Okay, what would be a good subject for this week?
Mm-hmm.
And, we came with this one. So what is it for you? What came up for you about that?
Yeah, I think fighting, I think it comes in a way that we maybe don't recognize or I don't really acknowledge about how I fight with myself. And it could be anything about judging myself or not allowing, like trying to have a conclusion about what something should, how it should show up. One of the ways that I fight with myself, I think it's like believing in some other conclusion, believing in something that is, believing in something that's real about why I can't do something or what's stopping me from doing something. It's like listening to that other voice, and I wonder what that voice is. I guess it could be demons or entities or the thought of reason and logic, and it's the space that I go in when I don't ask questions. Is I begin to fight with myself in a way of not creating what I desire. So yeah, it's like what is that space that we go into that we automatically listen to or fight that other voice? Like what is it that stops us from creating the life that we desire? What is it that resistance that's there? And everything that doesn't allow us to become aware of when we are fighting with ourselves and how to ask questions instead, we destroy and uncreate all of that times a gazillion.
Mm-hmm. Right and wrong about what talk online shorts was. Yeah, I think it's the first step. Because in this reality, fighting with ourselves seems to be the way to be in relationship with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's about judging ourselves. It's about treating us in a certain way. But it's really to validate ourselves or to allow ourselves to be different. It's about being in a certain way and being like other person,
Mm-hmm.
which doesn't allow so much space for who we truly be. And who we truly be, well, it's most of the time it's different. Totally different, something that doesn't exist in this universe. When we allow ourselves to be who we are, we're not something, but we are an energy that often doesn't exist in this universe. And what we do often is when we allow ourselves to be a certain way, where do you go? What are your point of reference? Do you have point of reference where you go to? I remember that there was a time in my life when I was to allow myself to do something energetically. I was going in my past and asking myself, okay, is it okay? And I had to find this in the past. And if it was in my past, that was okay for me to do it. And if it was not there, I would not do it.
Like a point of reference.
Yeah, the point of reference. And when we function from point of reference in the relationship with ourselves, well, we always create the same thing over and over again. And is there some space for something new?
Mm-hmm.
And who we truly be can shift, it can change like every 10 seconds. And well, the possibility is there. Is it what will be created? Well, it depends on you. But the thing is here is with yourself, from which space are you functioning from? Do you have point of reference that are there? Mm-hmm. And if you don't have, and if you cannot connect with this point of reference, you don't allow yourself to be. And this is where the fight is. Mm. This is where you begin the fight, because you don't allow yourself to be in the present moment, to be the energy that you are at that moment. So yeah, that's an example of fighting with yourself.
Yeah, it's like not allowing the universe to participate, and not really trusting that the universe is there. Like going, it's like when you were talking about, Edith, like going from a space beyond what we have as a reference, but stepping into new territory and really just trusting that what we choose is going to be okay. You know, like it's the idea of having to put something, put I guess I won't say faith, but just put trust in that the universe is going to have our back when we choose something like that. Because we don't have a reference point to it. You know, it's just like, okay, this is new for me.
Well, and the thing is that we don't have to do it with eyes closed. It's about asking questions and receiving the awareness, receiving the energy that it will be created with that.
Right.
It's not about, oh, this is what I choose and this is everything will be fine and all that. It's not about that. Mm-hmm. It's about, okay, I would like to do this. What will it create in my life? Do you remember the day when we we decided that we said, okay, when something will happen, will be created in our life, we're going to go on a cruise. And I was like, oh yes, let's do this. That's a great idea. And then we asked question, what it will create in our universe?
Right.
And it didn't create anything. I was like, wow. So it doesn't mean that, yeah, and it's about, yeah, we talk about that in fighting with yourself. And the thing is, what is it that you desire in your life? Is it about doing whatever will create more for you, or you really want to do what you want to do?
Right.
That's the thing too. What kind of life would you desire to live with yourself? Yeah, for me, I'm aware that the more I allow myself to follow whatever is light, and I am ready to shed everything in me, in my universe, that keeps me small, that keeps me limited. That's the kind of relationship I want with myself. Of course, the kind of, the point of reference, it's always keep us limited. When we go back there, it always keeps us limited. And it's not about fighting. What I want to say here, it's about when we see that we are in that space of, oh, okay, I go back to these points of reference as a way for me to allow myself to choose something for myself. It's not about reacting to this. Stopping to fight with yourself is, oh, allow this. Look, this is where I'm going. Mm-hmm. Okay, and from that space of allowance, what do I choose for me? It's not about saying, oh, geez, I'm so stupid. Look what I'm functioning from and blah, 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 and how we can do that very easily. So it's more about being open and have no point of view and being in a space of allowance. Okay, this is what I used to do. This is what I did. So now, what do I choose with this awareness that I just had about that? Mm-hmm. So what would it take for you to allow yourself allowance of everything you discover, of everything you become aware of you? And once you are in this space of allowance, you can choose for you. You can ask questions and so everything that doesn't allow you that, well, you know, and create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Yes, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pocket line, shorts, boys and beyonds. It's interesting, like the fighting part, like when I'm fighting against something or I'm fighting for something, there's some reason that it's like a mindset of survival. It's like I have to fight to survive. And that's the energy of when we fight with ourselves. When I fight with myself, I'm coming from the space of survival and not thriving in my life. I'm trying to defend something in my life. And it's mostly I'm defending having the small life. I'm like defending the possibility of having something greater. I'm defending the idea of change, or I'm defending the idea of going beyond what my reference point is, like you were saying, Edith, and going to something different. I'm defending that. So this is all about survival, being in the space of survival and not thriving in our life. And what is that space? It's like we seem to be happy with being in that space, or maybe not happy, but I'll say complacent or content to be in that space of not moving forward, but just being enough of uncomfort that is like tolerable. You know, like a lot of us, I'll speak for myself in the past and sometimes now, get to this space where it's just enough discomfort to where I can manage it, but it's not enough to where I'm going to choose something else. It's just this middle ground, which nothing happens. You know, it's just basically destroying my life. I'm not creating it. And it's just weird that we, you know, what is that? That we don't choose something greater? Is it something that we believe that we don't like deserve it, or that we're not worthy of that? Or it's not to say of that in correct language, but yeah, there's something about this addiction to fighting for the smallness of who we are and not allowing us to move forward and to go forward into thriving in our life and to choose something beyond the fight. Because who is it that we're fighting against? It's just there's some aspect within ourselves that we're hanging on to. And it seems like the bigger the fight, the more the greater the possible change is there. It's just right behind that thin veil of this image of who we think that we're defending. I would say, of great change is right there if we just allow that. And so what questions can we ask to move beyond the survival? It's like, what is it that I'm desiring to hang on to, that I'm not allowing to move forward to? Or what is this energy of survival? What is it that I'm defending here? You know, if Edith, you say something to me and I get defensive about something, or if I'm looking at something in my own life and I don't want to go there, or somebody says something to me, whatever, if I'm defensive about that, or I'm protecting that idea of who I think I am, or who I don't want to move beyond, there's something there for me. So everywhere that we're defending and rejecting the possibilities of allowing the awareness of who we truly be to come into our universe, will you please destroy and uncreate all that times a godzillion?
Right and wrong, and in that fucking pot all nine shorts, balls and beyonds. I wake up yesterday morning, I woke up and I had a strange energy around the heart area. And I began to ask questions about that, and it brought me to this relationship I had with my sister. In the past, we were young and we were fighting almost not every day, but we were fighting a lot with each other. And then I realized while I was clearing stuff, hey, it's not just with her, it's with a lot of women that I am fighting with. And I realized, I'm a woman. So maybe I'm fighting with myself too. Mm-hmm. So is it the same for you? Are you?
Not so much.
Are you fighting with people of the same sex as you are? And sometimes it was just in my head. The scenarios that I was creating in my head with someone, with another woman, that was like crazy all the time, that I invested in this in my life. And I was not aware of that. So, yeah. So are there people that you create scenario in your head? And do you realize that when you do this, you are either in reaction, in resistance, you try to prove or defend something. And when we are in this, we are fighting against ourselves, because this is what kind of energy does that create? That creates more like contraction, like solidity. It creates probably heaviness as well. And when we fight against ourselves, this is the kind of energy that we create as well.
Hmm.
So, so everywhere you believe that by fighting against someone will allow you to fight for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, what you do is still continue to fight with yourself. You continue to perpetrate this energy of fight in your energy. Well, create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, online, shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah, there's that, what do I want to say, that energy of having to conquer something, having to, like, in order to feel like I'm moving forward, maybe like I think I have to conquer or win or create that energy of fight. And, it's also, I have a tendency to, like most humanoids, like a lot of different things, and there's a lot of things that I'm interested in. And there's this sort of battle or fight within myself of wanting to do a godzillion things, and then also fighting with this idea that there's a limited amount of time, and there's this cycle of, well, I don't have enough time to do everything that I wanted to do, and so when I'm doing something, I'm always, not always, but sometimes in this space of, I should be using my time more wisely doing something else, even if I deserve it, even if I just am enjoying what I'm doing. And so there's this cycle of wanting to do and create and be all I desire to be and know what's possible. There's also this voice that comes in that says, well, you should be doing something more productive, or you should be doing something that's going to be working on the business or whatever that is. And so I have this struggle of trying to know that I can do all these things and desire to do all these things, and they bring me a lot of joy, and also thinking that, okay, I need to focus and bring myself back and then do this and whatever. And all the ideas about what creating our life is, like how many ideas do you have or points of view do you have about what creating your life is like? Like this morning we went for a walk on the beach, and some things we do, or we've been doing this frequently, is what bring a topic with us, and we'll ask questions about what that means to us, like what does creating mean to us? And so we'll just bring up all the different points of view that we have, and then we'll clear them, and then we evolve into something different. It's just really a great, fun thing that we look forward to every day. Mm-hmm. And so that's something that it's like whenever you get stuck, I just want to also back up. If you're in this space of this loop that you're wanting to do more, don't have enough time, so you're not doing much of anything, wanting to do more in this sort of dynamic of really not creating anything but crap, you can ask, what is it that you need to put your attention on today? Or what is it that requires more energy? And that way you can more easily look at what's up, what's available, and then you can do more. You can have more things on your plate without having to try to control everything, because that's what I've been trying to do, is like trying to control everything and like keep this going and go over and do this, and it's really very difficult unless you're asking questions about, okay, what of all the things that I got going on needs my attention today, and then what can I do to create that or change that? And so what I wanted to say also was, like, if you're in this space of feeling stuck about whatever that is, the topic that you want to choose, asking questions or asking what that point of view is, and just keep going until you've exhausted the topic. Like if it's what is creation, or what is worry, or what is a relationship, or whatever it is that you feel stuck in, just keep asking yourself, what are the points of view that I have about relationship? And then just say them out loud. They don't have to make sense. They don't even have to really be something that you believe in. If there's some energy that's true for you there, just bring it up and then clear it. And then you'll have a very different perspective to choose something else. So everywhere that we are stuck in this loop of wanting to do more but never having enough time, the illusion of that, and for some reason that we enjoy the fight of staying in the space of never creating, instead of asking a question, will you destroy it and uncreate all of that times a godzillion?
Yes, right and wrong about Papakal Nine Shorts, both and beyonds. And what's the value? You talk a bit about it before. What's the value of fighting with yourself? For me, what came up a lot lately is this kind of eternal punishment. I have to punish myself. I have to punish myself, and for an infinite being to punish themselves for a lifetime. Well, until I die, because an infinite being never dies.
Yeah.
So it means like eternally. So, and since we bring everything we live in past life with us, energetically, if I had that in 500 years ago, about this thing about to punish myself and punish myself for the rest of my life because this is what I deserve, this is what I think it's the best for me to do, you know, either to protect others or whatever reason was there at that moment, the energy is still there in your energy. So this is why it's so interesting, it's so important to include everything. So when you have a reaction inside of you, or for me right now, it's with food that I realize this. When I'm very aware of what my body desires, and when my body is not hungry, there's still something in me that desires to eat. And I know that it's not the being, and the being doesn't have to eat, and the body is not hungry. So there's something in me who would like to eat more, would like to crush me, would like to, and it's about, if I am in resistance of this, that doesn't work. That doesn't work because it stays there. And that's the thing, sometimes we believe in this reality. If I resist to it, if I'm strong enough, if I control it, I will come to something else. But it doesn't work this way. It's about stopping fighting with yourself and just allowing yourself to receive this. For me, I was like, thank you, while you were talking, what came up was, what if I was stopping myself from fighting with that energy that is there? And would just allow myself to go in it and to just explore whatever is there energetically and ask questions about, what is this? Is it a contribution? Is it an energy that desires to contribute? What is it that I don't acknowledge? It's about acknowledging whatever is in you instead of fighting it. Wow. And everything that doesn't allow you this, to acknowledge whatever is there. And once you acknowledge, choose something. But it's about acknowledging this first and then ask questions. So everything that doesn't allow you to acknowledge the energy that is present in your energetic field, well, you know, uncreate and destroy it all times a godzillion.
That's right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock on his shorts, boys and beyonds. It's also like asking, what are the points, like you said, Edith, what are the points of view that are creating that fight? What is it that is holding that in place? Just want to repeat what you said. Bless you. Affirmation. And so we have some point of view or some reference point that we're defending against, and that's more of what that is about. What is it that we want to keep that fight in place? Also like where I fight sometimes, like if I have this fiddle that's 115 or 20 years old. And I did not buy it new, by the way. I know I look good for my age, but I did not buy it new. It's older. And I've had this thing for probably 15 years, at least 15 years. And I love fiddle music. I love bluegrass music, and I play a little. I'm not a great player, but there's this energy that I have that I think so much about it, but yet there's this stop that I'll stop myself from following through with doing what's required to practice my fiddle when I want to. I have these points of view about I should be better than I am because I've had it so long that I've sort of picked it up and put it back down for so many years. And so all these points of view that I'm choosing are stopping me from just enjoying playing my fiddle without having to be a certain level of skill or comfort or whatever that is, or a time frame or anything like that. Just, oh, there's the fiddle I like to play, so I pick up and I play. So what is it that you have in your life that you really desire to do? Whatever it is, whatever it is, if you want to learn a new language, or if you desire to improve something about yourself that you've been telling yourself or talking to your friends about and just haven't chosen it, there's something there, there's a fight there that keeps you from choosing that. So it might be some follow through that we're not willing to follow through with something, because it means if we follow through with something, that we're actually going to create the life that we desire, that we're actually going to be happy, that we may actually have more in our life, we'll have more money, that we'll enjoy ourselves more, that will be thought of as special or important, or we'll have people that want to have sex with us, or we'll be thought as beautiful, or any of the things that we're resisting. These are all, and it can be as little as me choosing to play my fiddle, because that same energy that I'm refusing to be is the same energy that is infiltrated everything in my life. It's like this one energy that keeps me from choosing the greatness that I could be choosing. And it's that if we can, I wonder if we can start with something simple, like change a little habit and choose something, give ourselves permission, if that's what's required, to choose something small. And if it's playing the fiddle or playing the piano or whatever it is that you want to take classes or whatever it is, choosing that little thing to just open up the possibility of something greater to come in. So everywhere you're not willing to even acknowledge what you truly desire with your life and what the contribution that you have to this world that you're not offering, will you please destroy and uncreate all of that times a gazillion?
Right and wrong, good, bad, pot, call, nine shorts, belows and beyonds. And there's a magic by allowing ourselves to be what we would like to be or what we would like to do. I received a newsletter yesterday from another facilitator, and she had this desire, this internal desire to begin to paint. And she had a lot of projects that she desires to do because she loves to create. And she allowed herself to do this the first day. Second day, what was present for her was to paint. Even if she had all these projects that she wants to do, and even if she had the point of view that doesn't make money and all that. So, and then the third day, that was still there. So she began to paint. She continued to paint. And she had, while she was painting at that moment, the awarenesses of something for her as a possibility in her universe, that if she didn't allow herself to be in that space, she would not have. So what would it take for you to trust these energies that are in you, that these energies, your profound desire, and to trust this and to go in it? What if there's a gift in this, if you allow this to go in it, that will allow you to have access to what you desire to create? Because we hear it in Access so many times. It never shows up the way that you think it will. But we still believe that it will show up the way that we think it will.
Yeah, we'll be the one to prove it wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. And what if, look at your life, and when are the moments that you receive awarenesses? It's often when we are in allowance, when we are ready to receive something. And when we do something that we like, this is where we can receive so much more from the universe. So what would it take for you to allow yourself? And here it's not about, it's about stop fighting, but it's about choosing something totally different.
Mm-hmm.
From an energetic level, from another possibility that is totally different, to allow yourself this. And even if you have points of view, well, you can always destroy and upgrade these points of view and still choose it. Yeah, this is really something that is there in me. It's been there for years, and I never allow myself to acknowledge this, or never allow myself the time to do this. Well, what if it's time for you to allow yourself that, even if it's the weirdest thing on this planet, even if it's like, whatever it is, whatever it's weird, it's strange, it's like uncomfortable. Hey,
there's probably a meetup group with that topic too, whatever that is. I'm sure there is one.
Yeah, or otherwise we could build it.
Yeah, right.
Create it. So and try it for the fun of it. If you're in a space in your life where you don't go anywhere anyway, so what if it's about this? What do you have to lose by doing this? And this facilitator who painted, well, she had the idea. Before, she never wanted to sell her painting, but now she's willing to sell them. So so what if it's and I remember this movie, The Internship. Do you remember The Internship with Vince Vaughn and and the other one is
I forgot who else. Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
And they were fighting to try to find the app that would be like the best.
Mm-hmm.
And they went out one night where they got drunk, and I'm not saying that you have to go out and get drunk, but it's about taking you outside of your comfort zone where you are in, and this is where you will probably receive something. And by doing something that you don't allow yourself to do, and you will make you feel good, or something that lives inside of you, will help you come out of that zone where you function from, and will allow you to, from there, hey, what can be created from there? Yeah. And that can be a question you can ask yourself as well. That can be like, if I choose to allow myself this, what will my life be in 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
And follow everything that is expansion, everything that is lightness, everything that is joy. I'm going to do the class Right Voice for You next week in Paris. And what makes me choose this class is, if I choose this, what will my life be in 5 years? And I perceive joy. I said, I'm doing it. I want joy in my life. No matter the cost, hey, I desire this. I ask this to the universe. I'm doing it. Is it next week? Yeah, it begins next week.
A week after. It's on the 9th. Yeah, next week, yes, yeah.
Yeah, next week.
10th.
Yeah, 11. The class begins on the 11th. So
okay.
What if you desire something different in your life? It's about choosing to be in relationship with you differently, and to choose something different for you. And everything that doesn't allow you this, will you create and all this, what is the word? Someone that prevents you from doing something.
The government?
What I want to say is, sometimes our parents will prevent us when authority, and all these authority that still have an impact on you first. Will you return all that to sender with consciousness attached?
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pocket, line, short, spoils and beyond.
And everything that doesn't allow you to choose for you now, whatever will create more for you, will you create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pocket, line, short, spoils and beyond. And also, that's just a lie that the government doesn't allow us to do. What we do, we just need to find better ways to do it, not get their permission. So is now the time to stop the fight and use that energy to create your life with ease and do something different than the fight, like step out of that arena, step out of that boxing ring and move into creating your life, because in that space that I found, it's really not much but punches and blood and knockouts and not really a whole lot of fun. So thanks for joining us today, and we will be back again next week for another episode. Thanks for listening, and please give us a honk of support by subscribing, commenting, and sharing the show with your friends. Or, if you didn't like the show, please share it with your enemies. Thanks, and see you later.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.